What you're looking at here is the testing of the fitment of the STI calipers on my avant-gardes. I was told that these wheels will fit a big brake kit, but we're about to find out. I already went ahead, jacked up the car, pulled the wide body off. I have to pull the wide body off to get the wheel off because I don't have helper springs. Anyway, I finally got a set of STI Brembos. So these are from a 2017 STI. They should bolt right up. Obviously, I just need rotors. And then for the front two, I want to get stainless brake lines to match the rear before I put everything on because I only want to bleed the system one time. So I went ahead, I pulled the rotor off. First time the rotors and these calipers were off of this car since I did the extended lug studs. That's with the STI Brembo on there. This is with a rough mock-up. This is about how they fit. They look fucking fantastic. I was mostly worried about the valve stem back there. My clearance, it's tight. It's extremely tight, but they will fit, nothing rubs. So just before you say anything, I do know that the thickness of this is gonna space the wheel out from the hub itself. You see the little gap? That gap is the same distance as the thickness of this rotor. As it sits right now, this is exactly how it will sit with the rotor and everything on. And then if I rotate it, the valve stem clears, no issues. That's gonna look sick, dude. God damn. I'm so excited to be able to stop. This is gonna make the car feel so much better, way more safe. Yep, that's as far as the mock-up goes. Next time you see, I will have the rotors and the front lines on and probably go ahead and do the brake bleed and everything. Some time has passed since I last updated you on the whole big brake kit. I finally got the rotors, the pads, and the front stainless lines that I needed to finish this build. Realistically, all I need now is brake fluid so I can completely bleed and flush the system and I'll be good. There's a couple steps I need to take first before I really push anything. I need to go ahead and slap all the pads into all the calipers that I have now, go ahead and disassemble the car. I'm probably gonna have to pull the hubs off so I can remove the front dust shield or modify it, and then the same thing for the rear. It should be pretty simple, should be straightforward. I guess we'll find out as we go through. This is my first attempt at anything like this, so usually all the cars that I've bought in the past, they've had the brakes that I wanted on them to begin with. I got the old pads out of one of the rears. Here's all the new pads. I went with Stop Tech. Yep, so I gotta put the pads on this, slap them in there, and I'll be good. First one's done. I got the new pads in there. Obviously all the pins, new cotter pins, we're good to go. It's really self-explanatory. You go ahead and pull these out, pull the pins out. This bracket and both pads will come out. All right, I got all of the brakes rebuilt. All the pins, the little cotter pins are facing the right way. They protrude through here on this side. The pads and the pistons have been compressed to make room for a new rotor. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox all of the rotors. A quick before and after, stock WRX, aftermarket STI. Just a little bit bigger. Something interesting to note, a lot of people that have done this swap said that saying that this dust plate in the back needs to be trimmed or removed because it rubs, but mine fit perfectly. So I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna let that dust cover stay on, and hopefully it doesn't give me issues in the future. If it does, then I'll go ahead and pull it off. But as of right now, it doesn't sound like it's interfering at all. All the way around, it looks good. All right, I got that disconnected. Here's a before and after, stock WRX, stock STI. Got one on. It was kind of a pain in the ass. Not really. I think the hardest part was just getting that. It's like a flanged nut on the brake line hard side on the chassis. It's a size 10, but you don't want to use a standard wrench like this. You want to have more bite. Well, I don't have a line wrench, so I ended up just using a set of vice grips. I'm here now. So what transpired over the last probably 40 minutes was basically disassembling the hub. To completely remove the dust shield from this unit, you actually have to break off the tabs or drill them out. So here it is. It was spot welded, each of these little points to the back of that unit. And I tried to bend it. That's what all this is. I tried to bend it cleanly, and it was not working out. Every time I bent this bottom part would warp back in and vice versa. At some point, I might get the STI rears for that. I don't know. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I'm not entirely worried about it. I'm gonna go ahead and slap it up as is. Oh, real quick, here's the comparison. That's a much bigger difference. You will need to take the plug out of here, obviously put it into its location on the new rotor. Here's the difference between rears over here. It's a pretty big difference as well. Aside from that dustpan, really, really simple. Everything bolts right up. You just need to make sure you have the correct bolts. So that is 50% done with the install. Tomorrow, which is gonna be like 15 seconds for you, I'm gonna go ahead and start on the other side, get that done, and then get a buddy to help me bleed it, and the brake install will be absolutely 100% complete, and I don't have to worry about dying anymore. All right, this will be the next day now. Now starts the long process of putting fluid back in the system. I have to do this 4,000 times. Exactly 4,000 pumps, and I'll be there. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. But I just got to do this until it gets relatively stiff. I guess it'll push fluid into the system, obviously mixed with air. That's what the bleed is for. But this will get the calipers mostly filled up, I guess, as much as we can. My leg is on fire. I've been doing this for like 15 minutes now. Maybe like 8. It feels like 15. I'll update you when I'm done pumping my life away. It's official. The brake swap is finally complete. Feels good to be safe again. And they look so damn good too. It took a good bit of fluid to kind of, I guess, fill the calipers back up, fill all the lines back up, and really push that fluid, or push the air out of the system. But it's good to go now. Feels great. I'll probably keep an eye on it for another couple drives, and then give it another bleed just to see if I could force any more air out that might have developed over time. Huge shout out to Anthony Chan. He's out in Cali. He's the one that actually sold me this kit. And then Pro Auto, they helped me get a hold of all the brake rotors, the front stainless braided lines, the pads, and everything else. They really came together to get me all of this stuff and get it to me quickly enough, because I'm in the middle of a move and I needed all this done before I moved. So 10 out of 10. I definitely recommend it for any of you WRX guys out there building more power. Absolutely 110% worth it. So it just feels really good to finally get this car to the point to where I'm actually doing things like this. I'm kind of, putting the finishing touches on some things I've been overlooking for a while, like the interior and the brakes and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know if you took anything helpful from this video or not, but it's worth it. Absolutely. Pull the trigger on it if you find it.
Were you in my dreams? Nah. You played them like movie. You bad and you bougie like the devil wears Prada.